Alright everyone, and we're back painting. Should come up with a name for him other than the Seer. Mr. Grover or something. I don't know. What we're going to do today is the Imperial Purple. And I think the only reason I picked that was the last mini I did. I used a lot of reds and greens, and so kind of spreading it around on what paints are available. So we are going to do his boots. Actually, I was going to mix that with some tanned leather. I was going to mix tanned leather and purple. I don't even know what that would look like. But we're going to definitely do his cape in the Imperial Purple. And did I get that too thin? I may have. I was thinking about that. I should even stop painting because this is going to look bad. Hold on, let me mix up some more paint. Okay. As I was saying, I was thinking about this as I was mixing the paint up, debating, geez, should I do... I did 3 drops of paint, so geez, should I do 3 drops of water? So I did, and that just doesn't look like it's coating well enough, and it still doesn't. So like, well, there's should be some way to... That's a patch, okay. I do the patches in blue. Should be some way to scientifically tell everybody exactly how much water to add. First thing that came to mind is that I do use this ceramic palette. I'm not even going to wipe the brush off, in case you're wondering. This is so thin to begin with. I don't think it's going to matter very much. But, you know, I watch a lot of how it's made on TV, and one of the things I remember is the when they make paint. They've got this little scraper thing that they take the paint and they scrape it down, and if it spreads out to a certain point, then they've got the pigments thin enough. And my thought was I should get all of the paint on an incline and see at what angle the paint starts to run at. And then use that, get it to how thin I would like it. And then I can tell everybody that, okay, hey, I put it at a 30-degree angle, and when it hits the right consistency, it'll start to run at 30 degrees. And I'm just geeky enough that I may actually do that. It actually sounds fun to me. We're joking today on the Reaper forums. We're sitting here watching the bones ship out. There are a lot of us tracking. They put a little counter up on their web page of just how many orders have been placed, how many items they have left. There's nothing an engineer likes better than to have readily available data to chew on. So today they averaged 75 orders, or was it 77? I think it was 75.7. orders per hour. Shipped orders. Of course, they're just doing Canadians right now. So all those are being shipped up north to a single spot, if I'm not mistaken. And I think the average is, I don't remember how many items per order the average was. It's kind of a funny story about my memory. I have a hard time remembering people's names. I've been something really trying to work on hard and get better at. Just because it's embarrassing to meet someone at work and, oh yeah, you're that one person with the one thing. I know exactly your problem, but I don't remember your name. So you know that I go off on a lot of little tangents on these talks. One of the things I've read up that's supposed to help you remember people's names is to actually use it talking to them. Oh, hi Jenny. Thank you, Jenny. Yeah. Whenever you could get that back to me, Jenny, you'll remember the name faster. I didn't even get that shoulder yet. So names are hard for me to remember, but numbers seem to stick very easily in. That's what she said. Her. For example, if you ever visit California, you go to the certain Albertsons, and maybe every Albertsons, the cashier code for loose cookies is 41969. I memorized that in 1997 because they didn't have any pencils to write the numbers down, and I had to remember. Back before we all carried phones that were personal assistants and could jot down every note we had. I see, 1997. So for the last 16 years, that has been stuck in my head, and no matter how hard I try to forget it, it's there. Of course, my wife finds it highly amusing. There's a little tricky spot, so I stopped talking. Kind of like how you turn the radio down when you're trying to find an address. That staff is going to be black, so I can get sloppy on it. Anyway, the whole point of the discussion we just had on memorizations is because I do remember the number I came up with for the number of orders per day. Nearly. Pretty sure I got it right. I still didn't get all the shoulder. Probably a little out of focus because I'm holding it, but apologies. Yeah, this is paint so thin that it's really acting more of a shade or highlight than a thin coat. I need to get up in that corner. You probably won't be able to see any of this brush stroking, but I think I even have to get in there. Okay, it's so far up now that that probably should have been brown. And no. If anything, it should be black. Talking about this little section right here. There's a little cape thing, and cape cloth here, and in the middle they didn't take any color out, or not color, any material out. Some people would just paint that black. Kind of goes back to the entire discussion about what do you do underneath a woman's dress on a miniature. You know, this cape probably is going to get a lot of attention on shades and highlight for me. Just because there's all kinds of little folds that I could really practice a lot on. And I may think what I'll do is I'll get this to the stage where it's, you know, one base color on everything. I think I will go ahead and paint the boots. I think the purple looks nice. But I'll get the miniature blocked in. That's all a nice solid color all the way around. And I'll call that at the end of the series. I have to check every so often, make sure I'm still in frame. I didn't mean to push that much paint on it. And then once I have it to that spot, you can end it there. Say good enough. It's got what you need for slapping it on a D&D campaign. It comes up, spends 30 seconds with the players, and then it's gone forever. Until he turns out to be the big bad evil guy. Whatever. Don't know that I've ever mentioned that I've never played D&D. Thought about it several times, but friends were never interested in it. I don't really feel I've got the time to pick it up now. I sort of play it with the kids every now and then, but they are not interested in dice rolls or... Oh, those are his toes. Oh, crud. Just realized I was sitting here looking at the feet, and might be able to see, you know, this boot has a nice rounded toe. I was like, okay, that's nice. I can figure out what the sculptor was doing here, because, God, it's all choppy and looks really bad for a boot. And then I noticed there were 5 of them. 5 little ridges there. Oh, okay. He's got the cut or worn at the end of the boot out. Or, you know, really. Well, if this was a beggar, I tell you what I would do on that. Now, of course, now that I realize it, maybe I'll do it on the the actual Bones figure. But I would say that that boot was too small for him. So I would paint the boots different colors if this was a Beggar. Like paint one boot black and the other one brown. And to kind of give the impression that he'd found the one boot and found the other boot. But one was too small, so to make it fit, he just cut the toes out. Of course, you'd think if that was the case, the toes would stick out further, but I don't know. It's a thought for anybody who is following along in the videos and decides to make it a Beggar, not a Seer. I'm going to paint the heels black, but I'm just making sure I got it completely covered. I think I will paint his toes sticking out, so I've got to go back over that. When I do the eye, I'll redo the face area. I'll redo those toe areas. And one last quick look around, see if there's any spots that I didn't get. Really didn't get up in that area very well, but it's kind of a highlight part anyway. Maybe up in there a little bit. And then here's the trick. Turn them upside down. I think I have mentioned this before several times, but I'll mention it again because I'm using it again. Turn them upside down. You can usually see the areas that don't quite work yet. Now that I look at it, those are really well sculpted boots. Kudos. Or at least I like them. Alrighty. So, got another color down, and we'll pick up next time on a different color. See you later.